This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, joined by Cliff Numark. Today, he is a trustee with the El Camino Community College District, which is where?
In the South Bay, right next to, near Torrance, California. We're actually in unincorporated LA County.
Okay.
And we serve the broader South Bay community going all the way from Inglewood down to the Gardena area.
Wow, that's a big district.
About 500,000 people live in the environs of the district.
I want to talk about what's known as the South Bay Promise. We know there's the Long Beach Promise, the Los Angeles Promise, the San Luis Obispo Promise. What are these Promise programs?
So the notion behind the Promise program, which has been an issue that's been circulating for a couple of years now, is effectively to try to drive toward tuition-free college.
Right.
And right now, community colleges, which is by far the best deal in higher education.
One could argue.
Huge advocate of it.
And can I say this, by the way? Community college in California is $46 a unit.
Yes.
Now that's up from 36, 29, whatever it was, but it's still 50th out of 50. We are the lowest and cheapest. Least expensive, I should say, because we're not cheap. The least expensive.
Yes.
So continue.
It's a fantastic opportunity. So that said, there are a number of folks that, a number of students, we want to try to be able to provide free resources to the greatest degree possible, because education is the key toward greater economic prosperity writ large, whether it's career and technical education or transfer to a four-year college, whichever one folks choose. There is a Board of Governors fee waiver, which provides some degree of subsidy for students. The South Bay Promise is designed, like Promise programs throughout the state and country, is to be able to enable folks to basically have no tuition for their first year. Okay. We currently have a South Bay Promise program for Sentinel Valley and Inglewood Unified districts, so that those students, first-year students who come from those districts, will effectively not be able to have, and assuming they go through having sufficient credits, et cetera, means certain eligibility requirements, they will not have to pay any degree of tuition for their first year.
How do you fund that?
It's through the foundation.
How do they fund it?
We fund it through, we raise about $1.5 million every year through the El Camino Foundation, through various businesses, other donors. We have bequests, there's a whole, and we have about $12 million worth of assets overall in the foundation.
Oh, good.
So
is it spinning off revenue,
that's
so
exactly
you're not depleting corpus?
That's exactly right. So that's the goal. We do continue to go through annual fundraising, and in fact, and that's what we're trying to do. So for example, we just had in December, we had a Facebook fundraising campaign, Go El Camino, and we raised $10,000 in one little
complaints there.
Yeah, in a month's campaign, all via Facebook. So we have real opportunities. We have lots of folks who have gone to El Camino in the South Bay. The mayor of Torrance, the former assembly member. You go down the list. Lots of who's who have gone to El Camino. There's a number of folks who went there.
Right.
So anyway, what we're trying to do is to raise funds, and that's what we're going to do to enable the South Bay Promise. Next year is going to be for Torrance Unified students.
Oh, you're adding
next year, and then after fall of 18, it will be all in the district.
Are you looking to partner with the Cal State, Dominguez Hills maybe, or because the Long Beach Promise goes LBUSD, then it goes LBCC, and then Cal State Long Beach.
Right. So we've had conversations with Cal State Dominguez Hills as a way of bridging that, so folks to go from the El Camino to a four-year. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a formula for the program. We're really just trying to ensure that students have the ability to go to school at a very reduced rate.
You may know that San Francisco City College is launching a program, I think through tax, where they're going to provide for free community college for, I think, 2 years.
Yeah.
What do you think of those ambitious types of programs?
So those are all things that we could consider. I mean, our taxing authority in the district is limited to property taxes principally. We can't actually, so that would be, my understanding is that we don't have the ability to execute that within our confines of our district. We're going through the graciousness of the property owners, we're actually going through a massive rebuilding campaign on Elko. So we have a new football field, we have a new parking lots, we have a new STEM building throughout the whole. So we've had a number of bond measures to do that. That's where taxpayers' funds have gone. But in terms of being able to fund basically tuition-free college, our focus is on the South Bay Promise.
I want to talk about one of the challenges facing students. I was recently in Nevada, and they have, I think it's called a Silver State Opportunity Grant Program for community colleges. Part of the grants gives funding for textbooks. I don't think we do that in any of our promise programs, but you have another solution.
Right.
And so let's talk about that other solution.
Right. So the governor and many throughout the state and throughout the country have focused on what's called open education resources, which effectively is resources that are available online or through other sources, through grants from, for example, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has a Stacks program. There's a Merlot program. But anyway, the bottom line is we want to try to enable students to access textbooks online without having to pay for a physical book. So effectively most of the faculty teach courses that are designed around particular texts. And what we're saying is, can you alter your coursework, alter your pedagogy to focus on open education resource texts so that students don't have to actually buy a physical book? Some of these books for one course is $150.
Right.
And in many cases, folks are students, because of the Board of Government Fee Waivers or other scholarships that are provided, they're spending more in textbooks than are in any other source besides potentially room and board. So it is a huge expense, and what we have a wonderful professor, Professor Mark Fields at El Camino College. He's the one who's kind of taken this as the catalyst. We received a grant from the state of California, and we actually have a number of pilots that are going on right now at El Camino in communications, in art history, and in the administration of justice. So, for example, there's a con law course that Professor Mark Fields is involved in, and the actual textbook is effectively online.
Fantastic.
And so we say free or low cost. So to the extent that someone wants a physical copy, they can actually print it out at a low cost.
I understand.
But you'd be surprised, there are students who spend their entire coursework on their phones to view their text. Believe it or not, it's a totally different world than we were when we were young.
No doubt. I want to ask about another institution, Compton College.
Yes.
So Compton College faced an accreditation crisis.
Yeah.
Back in 2004, there was a corruption scandal, and then accreditation was yanked in 2006.
Yep.
What happened after it was yanked?
So there are a number of students who go to Compton College. It's on the order of 11,000 total students, probably about 5,000, 6,000 FTS, full-time equivalent students. And at that time, the state of California, the community college system of California was looking to try to figure out what we were going to do to provide an educational opportunity for these students. So El Camino was asked and did step up to take oversight over the Compton area. And effectively, the student graduates today from Compton as the Compton Center of El Camino College. They actually have a degree, but it's from the Compton Center of El Camino College. They have an El Camino College AA or AS or whatever the case is. So we have been operating under effectively overseeing the Compton College, and it's a very involved relationship. There is a CEO of Compton College. There's a special trustee that's is responsible for financial oversight.
Is that coming to an end?
It is. There is a path forward, and we have been working very diligently through the work with there is a Compton district where there are folks who are elected. We're working with the elected officials who oversee the Compton College district, as well as with the state community college officials, as well as the accreditation agency. So it's a process. It's a process to ensure that the college can, both from a financial standpoint and from a pedagogical standpoint, be able to provide a good education for the students. We are moving way down that path. So a recent milestone was reached where governance was passed to the elected officials of the Compton district. So they are now, they still have a relationship with a special trustee, but that is a step forward. We now need to move to accreditation.
Okay, you'll come back. His name is Cliff Numark. I'm Brad Pomerance. This